afternoon to Dr. Selva and my fellow friends. My name is Akila binti Nusham and my partner is Muhammad Khalil. Then today we are going to present the recommendation for the Malaysian agriculture policy. Alright, next we can see the table of content. First, I will introduce the MAFI. Second, I will introduce the MPIC. Third, I will introduce the MAP. And lastly, for the recommendation for the Malaysian agriculture policy. First of all, now I will explain about the Ministry of the Agriculture. But right now, the name has changed to the Ministry of the Agriculture and the Food Industry, which is MAFI. MAFI is a ministry of the government of the Malaysia that is responsible for the agriculture, agrobusiness industry, agritourism, livestock, veterinary service, fishery, and others. For your further information, everyone can search through their portal website like the picture in the slide, as we can see. So for next, we go to the next slide. So the next slide is the organization of the MAFI. The Ministry of the Agriculture is the Datuk Seri Dr. Ronald Kendi. MAFI has the vision and mission on that everyone can read. The vision stated to transform the agriculture formula policy, and there are a lot of function of MAFI, but one of that is to formulate the policy, strategy, and implement the program agriculture development. Alright, now we go to the next slide. So, does everyone know about the MPIC? Alright, it was the Ministry of the Plantation Industry and Commodity, or we call it as MPIC. MPIC is a ministry of the government of the Malaysia that is the responsible for the plantation and commodity palm oil, rubber, timber, furniture, cocoa, paper, kernaf, and tobacco. Now we go to the next slide, which is the organization in the MPIC. The minister is the Datuk Dr. Muhammad Khairuddin bin Aman Razali. The function is the ministry to formulate the policy and strategy for the overall development of the plantation and the commodity sector. And there are the following functions, as you can see. Next, we go to the next slide, which is MPIC has several policy and act, like in the slide, such as National Commodity Policy, National Timber Industry Policy 2009 until 2020, and the others, as you can see, there's many policy and act. Alright, now we go to the next slide, which is about the Malaysia Past Agriculture Policy. First is a National Agriculture Policy, and AP1 is available during the until 1991, and the second National Agriculture Policy and AP2 is available until 1997, and the third National Agriculture Policy and AP3, which is available until 2010, as well as the Malaysia Recent Agriculture Policy and Strategy. This has included the National Agriculture Policy and AFP. Is available until 2020 under the MOA, the National Commodity Policy, and CP under the MPIC 2011 until 2020, and then the National Key Economic Area for the Agriculture and then the Economic Transformation Program, ETP, or we call it as a ETP. Alright, now we go to the next slide, which is about the comparison of NAP1 until NAFP. So as we can see, the different objective and strategy of each of NAP. For NAP1, the objective is the income and the food security for the new land development by FELDA, RISDA, and FELCRA. Also, the private sector participation. For NAP2, it shows some additional objective of the integrations, balanced development, Bumiputra involvement in the agriculture reforming marketing approach, and promoting the farmers' institution. For NAP3, the objective is the additional in the link to strengthen link with the other sector and conserve and ensure the sustainable use of the natural resource strategy for the agroforestry approach and product-based approach. The current policy now is NAFP. The objective is to transform the agriculture food industry into a competitive and sustainable industry to increase the contribution of the agro-foods industry with complete value chains and develop the human capital. Next slide, we go to the NKEA Agriculture and NCP. So NKEA Agriculture has focused on transforming the agriculture industry into one with more focus on the agribusiness. The agriculture NKEA is targeted to the additional GNI contribution by 21.4 billion by 2020. The NKEA will create an additional 74,000 jobs, mostly in the rural area, where target to increase the income of the farmer who participating in the initiative by the 2 to 4 times. The NKEA has planned to bridge this gap through 16 EPP that catalyze the establishment of the market-driven, industrial scales, and integrated agriculture-related business along the 4 themes. Meanwhile, for NCP, it was launched on 17 February 2012. NCP has targeted the transformation a more dynamic and competitive community industry by 2020. The country's plantation and community industry include the palm oil, rubber, timber, cocoa, pepper and knife. So NCP has provided the strategic direction for the development of the plantation and community industry until 2020.
Hi, thank you Akila. Hi, I'm Muhammad Khalil. We'll be proceed with the next slide. Agriculture 4.0 or smart agriculture refer to the increased integration of IT and also communication technology with the agricultural production. The increasing demand for the higher yield product quality and the higher environmental protection compounded by the climate change has put the pressure on the agricultural sector. Digital technology can help the farmer to adapt by embracing the automation, sustainability, and also cost-effective production. Emerging innovation such as the Internet of the Things, IoT, and the big data should be incorporated into the everyday operation. For the example, IoT technology allow the farmer to manage, to monitor, and also control the various operation remotely. And the feedback from the system such as the irrigation and farm input management can be automated and analyzed through the artificial intelligence. Even the level of the pest, soil moisture, and also the livestock feed can be monitored through the sensor. Therefore, the routine operation can be streamlined, thus freeing up time and effort for other activity. And for the drone are an exciting innovation and especially for the suited for the plantation. They can carry out spray crop, conduct the soil and field, make field analysis, and also monitor the ground. In the long run, this development can save costs, decrease the labor dependency, and speed up the productivity, and also enhance the yield. It's like this development go beyond just production. According to the technology explained before, farmer and Mahdi can take an initiative to focus on modern technology effort to increase the productivity and the agricultural product. The farmer can manage their business and keep tab on the market price and make a deal through their smartphone and the other device, thus competing directly with the middleman. The Pharma Agrobazar initiative clearly has the potential for the further growth. This is the example of the Agriculture 4.0, which is data flow categorized by the related to the automation, connectivity, and intelligence technology pillar across the production. However, there are several issues, which is one of it is the aging workforce. Statistically, most of the farmer in the Malaysia are relatively elder and may not be willing to adopt the digital technology. Therefore, it will be important to the target their children or the younger farmer who is stand to benefit this tremendously. The secondly is the process of the implementing digital technology is expensive and best suit for the large scale producer. Without the subsidy or aid, the smallholder are likely to get left further behind due to lack of the capital or fund. Broadband infrastructure is the third issue. Many rural areas receive limited mobile signal and landline internet connection, which is a prerequisite for the digitalization. Hence, the telecommunication on infrastructure must be upgraded in the rural area. Finally, a lack of the information flow must be overcome. The DOA, DOF, DVS and the other governmental agencies in the agriculture sector currently offer the training and the course for the farmer. However, not many farmers are aware of this program for now. Taking this factor into consideration, Agriculture 4.0 can only be successfully implemented in the Malaysia through the cooperation of the public sector, relevant private sector industry and also the farming community. The public institutions are welcome to help the farmer navigate and invest their digital technology. Next slide. There are several methods to strengthen the Agriculture 4.0. First, encouraging the new technology as the mentioned early. Many farmers, especially the smallholder, simply cannot afford to invest in the modern technology. One option for the government is to purchase the machine and renting them to the farmer for a short period as 2 or 3 years, so that the farmer can decide whether it is worth for them to buying the machine outright. The financial aid such as installment plan allow the farmer to complete their transition to high technology system with the fewer financial constraints. Unfortunately, most of the farmers are still skeptical about the outcome of the new method and technology due to lack of the information, and the government can raise their awareness by the providing incentive. For the example, it can pay a farmer who is choose to adopt the technology, or who can in turn spread the information and teach the other farmer on how to use the new technique. Since the rural farmer are more likely to trust each other rather than this strategy is more effective than it was imposed by the outsider. The second one is the farmer link program that given that many farmers are aging and approaching retirement. It is urgent to transfer information between them and the younger farmer. A proposed farm link program serves as an online resource and referral center for the farmer and the landowner. The new established farmer seeking access to the land and farming opportunity can connect to the landowner who have a farming and business opportunity available. This program can also provide more information on the getting started or developing their farm succession plan. A simple website needs to be created and designed and made it available for free. Second, sustainable development of the fishery subsector. The fishery subsector is an important subsector in the Malaysia, and it plays a significant role in the national economy. Let's take a look on the statistic in subsector of the fishery in Malaysia. In 2019, the figure 1 show that the fishery subsector has successfully recorded a production of 1.87 million metric ton of the fruit fish, 287.5 billion of piece of the ornamental fish, and 51.7 million bundle of the aquatic plant, with a value of 15.26 billion and an increasing of 1.04% in term of production and 2.65% in the term of the value compared to 2018. 1.3. The fishery subsector of the agriculture has contributed approximately 12% to the GDP, 0.9% of the national GDP, and 0.04% growth rate of the 11 Malaysia plan. 1.4. The fishery subsector remain an important instrument to produce food and nutrition, generate income, and indirectly improve the welfare of its community. In 2019, the PCC or per capita consumption was recorded at the 46.4 kg per year, with the SSL of 93%, whereas the BOT balance of trade has improved from 1.24 billion in 2018 to 1.04 billion in 2019 at 30.7%. In next slide, in the figure 2, the total production of the fish is mainly contributed by the capture fishery, which consists of the coastal and the deep sea fishery, which with the landing of 1,455,000 metric ton of 77.7%, with the value of 11.3 billion, an increase of the 1.80% in the quantity and 0.21% in the value compared to 2018. The aquaculture has recorded a production of 411 metric ton, with a value of 3.34 billion, equal to 2.2 of the national fishery production. According to the Berita Harian online, fishery sector need collaboration venture with the various institutions like the government, scientists, the fishermen itself to enhance the development of the fishery subsector. The successfulness of this fishery subsector or cannot be achieved due to several challenges in the funding, government initiative, technology weakness, and the lack of the scientific investigation in the natural resource. Due to the following policy measures are suggested. First, investment in the aquaculture. The local and the foreign should be encouraged to invest in the wide range of the agriculture activity to sustain and to expand the subsector contribution to the economy. Such activity can include the program, incentive, and the project. The government should incentively preference area accordingly. For instance, the lucrative shrimp industry is a key area with the opportunity in sustainable technique and practice as well as the modernizing existing technology and machinery for the product diversification, packaging, and the marketing. In addition, investment in the R&D is another important factor to be improve productivity, sustainability, and to management practice of the sector. It is important to bear in the mind that agriculture research is a long-term undertaking, and therefore the level of the investment should be adequate and sustained in the long time. The second is conducting scientific research. Ongoing applied scientific research can develop practical solution to both environmental and production problem. Since the researcher should be demand driven or determined by the industry need, it is best to encourage a private or public research partnership. This approach has been successfully carried out in the Philippines and Canada, where with the result made widely available to culturists. Third, the efficiency use and management of the natural resource. Intensive agriculture is known to pose a threat to the environment, as seen in our discussion on the fisheries industry in 3.5.3. Therefore, the advancement technology, organic agriculture practice, and effective management practice should be employed to keep the agriculture sustainability. The innovation such as raising species with the short production cycle under the semi-intensive system or integrated agriculture system should be encouraged. 4. Examining the long-term demand and the supply pattern, where the state need to explore the demand from the both domestic and the world market, and to regulate the supply of the aquaculture product accordingly. It is particularly important to pay attention to long-term trend. Food security of paddy production in the Malaysia. As we know, paddy is a staple food that is measured people consuming. Therefore, the government is very taking seriously the paddy sector, the development to support the Malaysia self-sufficiency also not stop on the increase the SSL. The government also focus on the improve the living condition of the paddy farmer by support their livelihood. It can be seen that by the policy that have been established since 1984, which is NAP1 until 2020, that is NAFP1. Under this policy, the focus of the government is to increase the production of the food security to support the domestic consumption that include a paddy sector by provide a subsidy in situ development and also the involvement of the R&D. For your information, the total production of the paddy for the year 2016 is amounted 2.7 million metric ton, and 44% of the production is coming from the granary area. This is low compared to the other countries such as Indonesia that have the production of paddy amounted 46 million metric ton for the same year. Besides that, during the period 2040 compared to 2030, the SSI level of the rice is decreased amounted 0.1, where is 2014 the SSI is 71.6, while 2030 is 71.7. This indicate that the production of the paddy is quite low down to support the domestic consumption, and Malaysia may continue become the net importer for this commodity. There are several factors that is influence the diminution of the paddy sector production, along with the growth of the population. Below is the article that is related to the limitation of the production of rice in the Malaysia. Firstly, we have the factor the increased cost of production for the input, such as the farmer need to spend over RM16 ringgit for the 20 kilogram IBPS. That is burden small scale farmer. And next is the number of the land that is being used for the planted paddy is changed to the development project that will affect the production of the rice. There are three recommendations that can be made take by the government to improve as well as increase the production of the paddy to achieve food security for the paddy. First, minimize the number of the broker or the middleman that is involved in the transaction of the incentive paddy seedling to the farmer. The increase of the price for the incentive paddy seedling occur because of the third party, which is a broker and middleman, manipulate the stock of the incentive. This situation happen because there is no restriction made for the who the incentive can be buy. Actually, the price of IBPS is amounted around to 28 ringgit for 20 kilogram. However, after the intervention from this third party, the price risen to 60 ringgit and above for 20 kilogram paddy seedling. Moreover, it burdened the small scale farmer to purchase it and cope with the increased cost of production to produce a high yield for the paddy. Therefore, the government need to take a serious action by minimize the number of the broker by create a sole entity that handle the transaction on the between the farmer for the IBPS. Besides that, the government must take serious action to prevent This misconduct from occur by set up a punishment or fine for who that is default for the reselling the incentive with the higher price. Second one is increase the number of land for the paddy planted area. To raisen the production for the paddy sector, the government must take a serious on the land use for the purpose of planting area. Besides that, find out the suitable land for the cultivate paddy. This because the resources such as land is crucial to provide the maximum yield. We can take an example from our neighborhood country, which is Thailand, that is a bigger exporter for the paddy. In Thailand, most of the planted plant is paddy, and because it is important for their economy. The step taken by Thailand is involve land cultivation. Over 45% cultivation area is being used for the paddy cultivation. As the result, Thailand able to produce 32.35 million metric ton for the year 2018. Third, increase the guaranteed minimum price. As we where the income for the paddy farmer is quite low compared to the another sector. According to the Star 2019, state that the monthly income of the farmer is amounted around 2,527 ringgit. That is placed them under the bottom of B40 group. Besides that, the guaranteed minimum price for the paddy commodity is still lower, which is RM 1,200 per metric ton. The government need to increase their GMP to encourage more farmer to raise the production of rice. Besides that, the government also could apply output-based subsidy, which is more give a benefit for both sides compared to providing input-based subsidy. The output-based subsidy is focused on rewarding farmer performer as well as enhance the productivity from the cultivate land. That's all for my team. Thank you.